What's up, people? This is Set here. How y'all doing, my gins? How you doing, my gin? Um, this is Set here, spiritual and business consultant. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. So I want to talk about something here, man, because there's still people that believe that they're not being surveyed by the government. There's still people that feel like, oh, well, I'm not important enough for the government to care about what I do, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. That's what you think. That's what you think. I don't understand that kind of thinking. See, the thing is, without any context, it does look crazy. But let me give you a little bit of context here. So, the first moon landing, 1970s, right? 1970-ish, right? First moon landing. As soon as that was introduced into the world, satellites started to fly in the sky. Sputnik and all those people, right? Sputnik was a satellite, right? It wasn't a person; it was a satellite. So the Russians have satellite, America has satellite, Canada has satellite, Europe has satellite, everybody has satellite, right? Like I said before the other day, there's over 8,000 satellite. There's over 8,000 satellite floating around in the air as of right now, and there's probably going to be more satellites in the air as of right now in the near future. The thing is, there's some of these satellites are actually abandoned. You know, it's not that easy to go pick up a satellite and bring it back to Earth, because you got to do a space launch with actual people and technicians to bring those satellites back. So sometimes we just reuse an old satellite to bounce off something else, especially if you're a new Comcast or Comhearst company. You're probably going to be using, if you have the chance and if you have the opportunity, you're probably gonna use a abandoned satellite, right? So, and if you don't feel like doing that, you're probably going to get your own satellite in the air, right? So that's an accomplishment in itself. So anyways, back to the story. Early 1970s, satellites are pushing up in the sky. Now we have something that we call today, a lot of people are scared of it. It's called geolocation, right? When you have that on your cell phone, geolocation, look up Google, you can spot anybody that's a satellite, right? But that's now in your hands. But tell yourself this is the technology that you're scared of, that you are able to use yourself. I mean, you might not be able to see somebody walk down the street whenever you feel like it, but nonetheless, the army and the military already had this kind of, not just the army, the military and police, you know, certain police stations or certain police organization already had access to that kind of technology ways back in the 70s. They called it triangulation. Triangulation is geolocation. It's just a different name, but it means the same thing, right? So tell yourself this, since if the last six to 10 generations was already being surveyed by some form of triangulation, you know, machine or whatever the heck it is, right, process, you know, they have enough information on you to do pretty much whatever they want. Pretty much, they could, you know. There's some court cases that didn't even fly because of illegal use of triangulation, right? Because of illegal use of geolocation. They were surveying the guy when they weren't supposed to. They were phone tapping him when they weren't supposed to. Now the lawyer caught wind of it, and now the criminal gets to walk free because they didn't respect his rights of privacy, right? He had rights of privacy, which they completely, utterly ignored. So a lot of people still think that, you know, when you say the government's after me, they're doing things, the blah, blah, blah. Some people think it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke, man. The question is, the real question is, why are they looking at you? The question is not if they're looking at you. You better know that they're looking at you. They're looking at you all the time. I remember one time, because I keep up with, Lockheed Martin shit, like DARPA defense systems. When I was younger, I used to keep up with those things, right? Like nowadays, I keep, more or less up to date with those things, right? But when I was a kid, I used to keep up to date with those things. And I remember clearly talking to people before Obama got elected president about Predator drones, right? Those were the first planes to fly themselves in the air without a pilot, right? And I was talking to everybody about it. Yo, predator drones, man. They can kill people from 30,000 miles, man, with one fucking rocket, dude. All kinds of shit, man. So I go out to sit at the park with one of my friends. We're all chilling. I think my sister was there. My best friend was there, man. Another one of her friends were there. We were chilling over at his place and stuff. And, we're going out the park, and the holy be thy known, what do we see flying in the sky? A motherfucking Predator drone, flies right over our heads. A Predator drone, dude. So, you've always been, and basically, the reason why we saw this Predator drone is because my friend used to live in a place where gang activity was prevalent. Not to say that it was bad, but it was very active. It's a very active area. So if you live in a very crime active area, you best believe that they are keeping tabs on you. There might not be any cops in the neighborhood, but they know what's in the neighborhood, so it is what it is. Black people are the original targeted individuals, if you don't mind me saying. Of course, this term has evolved into something a lot bigger because, fortunately or unfortunately, depends on the way you see it, black people are not the biggest threat to this nation, right? And as of right now, the biggest threat of this nation are people that are highly mentally evolved. Those are the threats right now. The threat is highly motivated and highly self-motivated and highly people that have a high rate of common sense and critical thinking. And basically, people that are free from the matrix are the highest quality of targets known to man as of today. Maybe not a couple years ago, but right now it is. So people like me, or people like you, if you're watching this video, you're targeted because of your logic, because of the way you think, because of your DNA, because of where you come from and where you're going to go and where you're going to end up, or where you're supposed to end up anyway. So it is what it is. So to say somebody is making a conspiracy out of himself is basically, it's insane. Because somebody that uses the word conspiracy is hiding something. I don't say conspiracies. I don't have a conspiracy channel. I have a channel where I spit facts. I tell the truth. I don't tell what ifs and whatnots. This is a channel where I tell facts. If I'm telling you what I'm telling you, is because it is true. I'm not telling you these things because I suspect that. I don't suspect shit. I live through the shit. You know what I mean, bro? So don't call me conspiracy. I live through it. I have lived through it, or I live through it as of right now. So there is no conspiracy on this channel. So anybody that uses the word conspiracy to objectify you and put you in a suitcase and in a file somewhere and be like, label you conspiracy theorist, that's just crazy nonsense. And that shows me you have something to hide. Because before saying that somebody's making a conspiracy, you should check the facts. You should check if the person's crazy. Now, you should check out if any of what he's saying makes sense. And if it makes sense, well, guess what? It's not a conspiracy, man. It's the goddamn truth. Period. So it's a funny subject that some people today still feel like, oh, well, there's no way the government has time to. Yes, they do have time to waste checking you out. They don't have anything else to do. The government doesn't do anything. All they have to do all day is check you out. They have nothing else to do. There's nothing else on the payroll. They work from 9 to 3 or 4. Not even, what am I saying, 9? They work from 9 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. They have a 2-hour lunch break. So they work 4 to 5 hours a day. So what the fuck does a government official do the rest of the time? If you're only working 4 to 5 hours a day, what the fuck are you really doing? And it's not like government business is like something you have to do with your hands. You just sign papers, you get information, you get data, and you siphon through data. That's all you do. If you're a government official, you siphon through data. So what is the purpose of all this data? Your social insurance, your driver's license, your taxes, your bank account, your financial greetings, investment portfolio. That's all data that you're feeding to the matrix. That's all data that you're feeding to the government. They know everything about you. They know where you're born and shit. By the way that you're working, if you give them all your tax rebates and all that shit, right? By just analyzing the amount of work that you're putting into yourself, they could probably predict when you're gonna die. Bruh. Because the hours are also calculated when you get that check from when you stop working, right? And you get a check, right? When you don't need it, when you had enough hours, they give you a check, right? Let's say you lose your job, they give you a check if you work enough hours. So they don't have to ask you how many hours that you work. They don't need to go see your bosses to know how many hours that you work. They know how many hours that you work, period, and they base themselves off of that information to give you a check. So they know when you're gonna live, if you're gonna die, and they know when you're born. They know when you shit, they know when you sleep, they know everything. Now the thing is, if you're a freedom fighter like me, if you're a spiritual person like me, if you're a free thinker, and you're more than a free thinker. You're somebody that actually has a specific set of skills. If you're a person that has a specific set of skills, then most likely that everything you see is built to keep you locked in a box so that other people will not become like you. Because other people don't know how to be the way you are. Most people don't know how to be who I am. They have absolutely no clue. They don't know how I do half of the shit that I do, bro. Half of the shit that I do, they don't fucking know goddamn nothing. They don't understand it. Even if it was written in a book, they would still not understand it. Even if Lucifer himself came with a book and a spyglass and 2 and 4 English, Spanish, Asian, European tutors, people would still not understand how I do the shit. You want to know why? Because it has to come from me. So they don't need to stop everybody else. They just need to stop me. If they stop me, then they don't have to worry about everybody else. And it's the same thing if you're an indigo person, if you're targeted individual, they don't have to stop your family members. They don't have to stop your friends. They don't have to stop everybody in the neighborhood. All they have to do is stop you. And that sucks. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucking nasty if you ask me, man. Because you are aggroing, bro. That's called aggro. In video game terms, that's what aggro means. Even in military terms, that's what aggro means, bro. You are just attracting all the bullets. So if you're gonna attract bullets from, you're soaking up bullets from gang members. Because there's gang members that are part of, a lot of gang members are part of this fucking nonsense, bro. And some gang members don't even know that they're part of the nonsense, but in some shape or form they know. In some shape or form they know. So you're soaking up bullets from gang members. You're soaking up bullets from the police. You're soaking up bullets from fake ass, treacherous, anti-patriotic military ass niggas. You're soaking up bullets from witches. Right? Witches that try to send people to do their dirty work for them and all kinds of shit, right? So you're soaking up curses and bullets from these sons of bitches. You're soaking up bullets from shit. You're soaking up bullets from business people. Nevertheless, that's not a big deal, and it's not the biggest thing that's going on right now, but it's still worth a small mention. It's still worth a small mention because there's a lot of small business groups that are evolving and that are growing around everywhere, bro. And those small business groups, the only reason why they have more success than some people is because the deal that they made to get that what's it called, the loan and all that shit, right? So where do you think they got the loan from, man? It's by being one of these people, by being part of the cabal, by being part of the circle, by being part of this secular movement, right? Being part of the sect. They have some ties in the sect. That's why they have these, some people call it masonry, but it could not be masonry too. It could be other things too. It's not just masonry. People form organizations all the time. Activists. You're soaking up bullets from activists too. You're soaking up bullets from activists too. Because the thing is, an indigo person, first of all, I used to be a Buddhist, man. You gotta understand, I'm a Zen master, bro. I'm not a violent person. It's just, I'm a Zen master, man. I just don't, there's no reason for me to let go of this world. And what I mean by that is, some people choose to seclude themselves and recluse themselves, right? And I'm talking about their spirit, not their actual bodies. Because you can be surrounded by people and still be alone. It's the same thing, it's the same principle I use with my Zen, right? I'm surrounded by people, but I'm surrounded by violence and all kinds of shit, but I'm still Zen. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid to act either. I'm not going to let my zenitude, I'm not going to let my feng shui get in the way of defending myself or believing in things that are right? Because when you're fully feng shui and you're fully zen, you just don't interact with none of this shit. You don't interact with people. You don't interact with activists. You don't interact with business. You don't interact with nothing. Right? Because all that shit is fake. And it's true. It is fake in some shape or form. But I believe there's a very real thing about all of this. And I think, and it's not a diss, it might be a little bit of a diss. And there's some Zen people that might not like what I'm about to say. Or they might have the knowledge of what I just said. They just don't like society for obvious reasons. So I do not believe that fashion, art, science, spirituality are things separate from my soul. I believe that these things come from my soul. I believe that fashion comes from my soul. I believe that music comes from my soul. And for me to not accept these things in me would be the contrary of feng shui. It would be the contrary of my yin and my yang. So I have to accept these things. I have to find myself in these things instead of running away from these things. And I don't know, some Zen people might not like it, might not like what I just said. I completely understand it, but you have to understand this comes from a theory that I have. So I might be wrong in the long run. I might be wrong in the long run, but I'm willing to sacrifice my Zen master title for the simple notion of becoming a god, from achieving apotheosis, right? It might not be given to everybody, but to me, it seems a little bit risky, I'll admit, but I'll still try. I still want to try to see if I'm wrong or not. And I might be wrong because through all the generations, there's never been, Buddhists that are, Buddhists right now, some Bodhis, I wouldn't call them Buddhists, but some Bodhis right now are actually a little bit more fashion, they're a little bit more involved with society more than they used to be 40 years ago. Because 40 years ago, there was absolutely no link between a Buddhist, a monk, and a regular person. Those two people were nowhere near each other. But now, as time go along with all the yoga clubs and all that nonsense and all that pretty fancy vegan things, I guess, some Zen masters out there was like, well, at least they're trying. So I guess I could make a little trip to the city and see what's up, let's go downtown to see what's up, man. I don't know, So anyway, it is what it is. So what the does all that means for me? Absolutely nothing. It means absolutely fucking jack squat. What it means is if you still think that you're not, hold up, because my bun here is a little bit, okay. So if you think that if you're a special person and you're having a little bit of difficulty right now, that it is all your fault, is because you're not positive enough, and it's not, and because you're not positive and you need a friend. Fuck out of here with that shit, man. That's just stupid, man. Their job is to stop you. Their job has always been to stop you since you were born. They did everything you know about life is a complete lie. TV's a lie. Everything's a lie. Even I'm a lie. I'm a fucking liar, man. I'm lying to you right now. You want to know why? Because I'm not fucking human. And I'm acting like a human. Shit, I just lied to you 2 seconds ago. I told you I was a Zen master, but I'm not trying to be Zen. That's a fucking lie right there. Everything is a lie, bro. Stop believing in all this shit, bro. Everything is a lie. And there's a riddle in that statement. And the day that you'll understand that riddle, shit, you're gonna be more powerful than you have ever been in your entire life. Or you can join my website. And I'll tell it to you for a specific price. So, like I said, everything is a lie, bro. Like, you think celebrities don't know you. You think everybody knows you. Everybody that's everybody, right? If you're a special person, if you're an important person, if you're a high level spiritual person, right? Everybody knows you, son. Everybody knows me. Celebrities knows me. Illuminati know me. Everybody knows me. Gangsters know me. Everybody knows me, man. Everybody looking. Everybody looking, man. It is what it is, because the world is smaller than you think. That's the thing, though. Like, the world is smaller than you think. A lot of people think the world is big and, blah, 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 blah. The world is small as fuck. There's 1% of the people that are rich everywhere on the planet. What does that mean? That means all rich people. And if the rich people only hang around other rich people, that means the 1% knows everybody that's part of the 1%. Period. So if you're rich and you got access to information and you're watching like real what's it called again, real life television or something like that, reality TV. Yeah, when you're watching reality TV and you're a billionaire, man, you not only are you watching reality TV, you're watching real people in reality TV, bro. So you know what's going on. You know, I mean, you don't have to. You don't need to. It's not necessarily important, you know. But if you want to, you could. You're a goddamn billionaire. Shit, you're probably gonna go out one of your friend's house, and your friend's house is gonna be watching reality people in reality. They probably have special listen. These are satellite signals. You are receiving the satellite signal that you paid for. Also, you are paying the satellite signal that they gave to you, that the government said this is okay to buy. So, conspiracy theory, all right? What I'm about to say is a conspiracy theory. You can flag that as a conspiracy. This is not facts. This is just me speculating, right? So, over 8,000 satellites. You have 2 cable providers. Nowadays, they're beginning to pop out of everywhere. So let's say there's 20 cable providers, right? Not even 5 cable providers, 5 internet businesses, and 5 cable providers, right? There's 8,000 goddamn satellites in the atmosphere. In the atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere. Well, the sphere beyond the stratosphere, whatever, right? Okay, so these things are floating around. So let's say you're a billionaire. You know, there's probably a group of people that actually have their own kind of journalism, and they have this advanced civilization of rich people that live on Earth like gods, have a network television based off of people's real life, and they would have like special news reports on this is what's said today on the targeted individual Narc show. So they don't have to watch what you watch. They could watch whatever the fuck they can watch. Shit, there's probably a satellite showing snuff porn all day. There's probably a satellite showing pedophilia videos all day. There's probably a satellite showing animals eating poop all day. There's probably a satellite, there's a bunch of fucking satellites, and anything could be on those satellites. Or better yet, if nobody that owns a satellite wants to be seen as a conspiracy, maybe somebody out there in their basement is actually bouncing off TV shows off of somebody else's satellite. Because that can happen too. The two-way signal. So, like I said, there's so many ways to enter your life and manipulate things. For you to sit there and think that none of this shit is happening to you is beyond remarkable to me. So anyway, this video is too damn long. My name is Seth, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.